Well, welcome everyone on this beautiful Thursday. I have to look out of the window to see if it's sunny, but it is. My office is kind of dark. We're here today with Sarah, and one already joined us. And yeah, today I have no idea what we're going to talk about yet, so we'll just see where everything goes.
Always figure something out.
Yeah, well, I think about the topics that came in front of me because of questions I see in one of my groups, or a question from my client. And water always comes up. And I have a funny story actually about that water. Well, not about the water, but about a question. And somebody posted a copy from a book, some text about distilled water. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is great information. But there was no source with it. So I asked him. It was not in one of the groups that I'm an admin in, but it was in another Dr. Morse group. So I asked him, I would love to share this. Who is what is the source? And he says, it comes from Dr. Morse's book, the Detox Miracle Source book. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is embarrassing. I should have known that, because this is the book that I used to study for my certifications. And it's like, how fast do we forget what is in there? So it absolutely got me to the point. It's like, I have to read this stuff again, because this is crazy. And for everyone who has the Dr. Morse's book, it is in the section module 9.2. It is 4 healthy tools to assist your detoxification and your life. Now, the first one on page 280 is about the liver and gallbladder flush, which I also have in the ebook. And the second one, tool 2, was distilled water as a great tool for helping you detox. And I can only say, read it. I mean, I could read it to you, but I think everybody, if you take your health seriously, this is kind of your health Bible. I mean, the Detox Miracle Source book, absolutely. I mean, that has to be in your health book library. But it was so funny. So I told him that, that I used that book for studying, and how embarrassed I actually was, not remembering it. But I owned my I owned it, so I told him. So that was actually kind of funny. The second thing that that I came across, and I have been looking into that more, to a point that it is, yes, I have to get this article out to more people. It actually comes from grapegate.com, and this is about heavy metals. And I didn't take the whole heavy metal thing for myself too seriously. I know with the dye that is being used in CT scans, which was used after I had a heart attack 10 years ago, I got the gadolinium toxicity. And I came across somebody else who has it, and she was like, how do I detox that out? So it's and for me, it was just sticking with the fruit. That was the key, because the first probably 7-8 months that I started this, I didn't use any herbs. I just didn't have the money for it. So it was detoxing through being on an all raw and high fruit way of living. But it definitely got better, because the second year I was already working as a counselor, I realized, my God, I'm now talking from early in the morning to late in the evening. And it's only, well, maybe a year ago, less than a year ago, I could barely finish a sentence. I could not remember the words. I did not have even the breath to finish a sentence, but it was mostly that I was struggling so bad to remember words. Now, I still have, that once in a while it's like, oh my God, what is that word? And I can't come up with it. But usually it comes soon enough. But that is quite different, just missing a word here and there than not even being able to complete a sentence. So, I am the proof that you can detox that out, because my brain fog was horrendous. I couldn't work. I hadn't been able to work for 8 years. And so this is pretty significant. But then I was looking at, because I have more clients with toxicity, heavy metal toxicity, and it can be from mercury when you have your mercury fillings removed, but not in the correct way. And that happens a lot. Or old fillings, like I still had in my mouth, that that was just wearing off and create toxicity in your body. But then I started looking at all these things that create toxicity, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is way, way, way more than I would ever expect. It's aluminum, it's arsenic, it's cadmium, iron, lead, mercury, nickel even. And it's like, where do we all find that? So there is a PDF actually on GrapeGate, but I am formatting it a little, so it's going to be less pages and maybe easier to read. But it is in so many things. It's like, yeah. And there are simple heavy metal detox juice recipes. Like one is, what was it? Oh, cup of cilantro. We know that cilantro can help with that. 1 chopped up apple, half a cup of parsley, half a cup chopped celery, and 1.5 cup of water. You put it all in a blender, and you process it into a pulp, and then you strain it through a cloth, and you drink it. And what is suggested is that you drink half of the juice and you leave the other half for later in the day, and you repeat this daily. Now, it is not a quick fix. It's not that you can eat whatever you like and you just take your detox, green detox drink and you're good to go. It doesn't work like that. I still believe that your diet comes first. We always talk about that, with everything, it's always diet first. The right diet, eating mostly fruit, definitely all raw. But then these detox drinks, they do help. And Dr. Morse has actually a formula that is called the Gem Metal Detox formula. And that should be part of, cleaning out your GI tract. And that is a big part. But it's not just the GI tract, your kidney, your liver, and, So it is it's going to be an interesting article. If you, like I said, you can find it on grapegate.com or just email me, and I'll send it over to you. When I have it ready, give me, I'll probably finish it up today. And I may even post it here on in the show notes. There is another thing that I learned, which I did not know, because we do know that zeolite is a product that is often used to clean out heavy metals. But oh my gosh, can that go wrong? If you have constipation, if the heavy metals that are stirred up cannot go anywhere, you are going to be in trouble. So there is a right way to do it, and that is really important. So that, therefore, if you struggle with that, and if you're interested in, getting the heavy metals out of your body, and if you read where they all in, it's like, I have part of the article already on here. It's like nickel. You find nickel in appliances, cooking utensils, stainless steel utensils, ceramics, cosmetics, hair products, coins. Now we don't use coins not that much anymore. But, the dental materials, orthodontic appliances, food like cocoa, hydrogenated, my gosh, difficult word for a Dutch girl, oils, in nuts, actually, and in especially food grown near an industrial area, in hairspray, in jewelry. I mean, I always think that what I wear is at least my 2 rings is at least a real silver, but I'm pretty sure that I have other stuff that has nickel in it. Metal tools, the nickel cadmium batteries, tobacco and tobacco smoke even, and water faucets and pipes. Did you ever think of that? That is where you would find, nickel in it?
Mhm.
I didn't.
Mm.
Now there is another one, and that is actually, and I did not know that until I started reading this article in detail, and that is that mercury is found in tattoos. So when you get a tattoo, and it seems that everyone is into tattoos big time, it's you can get a mercury toxicity.
Yeah, and even the tattoo ink that they say is safe, like what is it? I don't know too much about it, but like soy base, or I'm not really sure. I can't speak to it, but the tattoo ink they say that is safe for you. I mean, your skin's your 3rd kidney, so you're literally still putting ink right into your skin.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm just not sure. There's a lot of stuff we don't know yet.
Yeah, and mercury, here's the list: air pollution, batteries, contact lens solution, cosmetics, well, the dental amalgams and fillings we know, but diuretics, fabric softeners, freshwater fish like bass, pike, and trout, grains even, high fructose corn syrup, pesticides, saltwater fish, halibut, shrimp, snapper, tuna, swordfish, and shellfish, tattoos, and vaccines, including the flu shot. It is like people have absolutely no idea that they are killing themselves with all these things. And we don't even think twice about it. Lead is another one. We know, the lead pipes, how dangerous they are and what can happen, how it can affect your brain. It's in air pollution, auto exhaust, bathtubs, cast iron, porcelain, and steel, batteries, canned food, cigarettes, dust, gasoline, hair dyes and rinses, lipstick, lunch meats, newsprints and colored advertisements, pesticides, paints from before 71, rubber toys, and last but not least, wine. It is actually in wine.
Wow.
Now, with iron, it was said, in the early days, they were like using iron, skillets, because, if you wouldn't have a deficiency for iron. But if you use iron skillets, you can also get too much. And iron is found in fish, the skillets, of course, iron supplements. Well, okay, that's logic. But in plant foods. And nowadays, it is very popular to bypass the food and just eat the plant foods. Like that, what is it called? Sulfuric acid? Which is a plant food and very popular, and everybody says, oh, I detox great on it. And iron is also found in poultry and red meats. So this is alarming. And this is actually an article that was written almost 10 years ago. But now here we have cadmium, one that, I only think about cadmium, I think about batteries. That's about it. And that one is actually not even listed here. Again, air pollution, cigarette smoke, coffee of all things, cadmium in coffee, freshwater fish, fungicides and insecticides, highway dust, meat like kidney, liver, and poultry. Oh yeah, the nickel cadmium batteries, phosphate fertilizers. Now, I live in an area, Central Florida. In Florida, that's pretty much everything is owned here by, oh my gosh, they have this beautiful name, and now I forgot it. There's a word that it will pop up later. You have these phosphate mines. I'm right in the middle of it. And I spoke once with a lady who did the acupuncture in Tampa, and she said, "Yeah, I come from there, but I left because the air was so polluted." And I'm like, "Oh darn, I live right in the middle of it, and I have this pretty little house that I don't really want to leave." But when you think of this, you realize you're not really in the best area to get healthy. But then again, what is in another area? If you have a nice house next to orange groves, you have them all over, pesticides all over too. So it's really hard to get away from this stuff. Cadmium is also found in PVC plastics, and again in seafoods, in crab, flounder, mussels, oysters, and scallops, and in tea, and in tobacco, and refined foods. So it's like, my God, is there nothing that we can get away from it? Another one is arsenic, again, air pollution. It's even certain marine plants. It's a drying agent for cotton. And I have always been a fan of cotton and wool, not even realizing, I thought it was a natural product. Now, the last 10 years, most of us know better, and not realizing, how cotton is being prepared for us to use. It's not, it has a lot of, unhealthy stuff in it. So now you have, if you can get it, the organic cotton, but I don't even know what kind of drying agents for cotton they use. Arsenic is also in fungicides, herbicides, which is used actually on organic foods. And it's a pesticide and in insecticides, and in paint, and in seafood like fish, mussels, and oysters, in well water. My other house where I previously lived have actually well water. Never thought about arsenic. And it is in wood preservatives. Okay, is everybody alarmed now?
Yeah, it's everywhere. There was a couple things while you were talking that kind of stuck out, was about the deli meats. They even tell you when you're pregnant, do not eat any of the processed meats in deli. So does nobody really sit there and think, why can't I eat this when I'm pregnant, but I can eat it when I'm not pregnant? Like, does that ever come across anybody's thought process there? It's so there's something harmful in it that's going to hurt your unborn child, but yet it's okay for me when I'm not pregnant. My thoughts that way. And then the other one is liver. What is the main process of your liver in your body? To filter out toxins and, all that stuff. Why would anybody ever want to eat that? And then they always say, well, it has really good iron and it's good for you and all this other stuff. I'm like, but what does the liver do in your body? Why would you want to eat that part or that organ in the first place? That's just stuff that's always stumped me.
Yeah, Sarah. I recollect back when I was pregnant, and no, no, I recollect hearing about the processed meats being carcinogenic. Like, and I used to love salamis. I just would eat that dry salami so much, and then I had heard all those processed meats were not good. And so there went the sandwiches by the wayside, whatnot. It's been a while since eating any of those, processed meats. But I wasn't really pregnant at the time.
Well,
Not at the time.
That's good. Okay. I have been in my previous positions or jobs within the matrix. I did not witness a real physical male become pregnant, but they had made it to where he could carry the child. So that was kind of scary. And that was many years ago. So
I was joking, Sarah.
But I'm just saying, like, he did not become pregnant, but they had it to where he could carry the child. And that was very, I don't know, gave you like that feeling inside, like, I shouldn't be here. Like, this is not right. So I don't know.
No, that is too weird.
It
See,
was.
we have two new people. And Shelly Ann is here, and Shelly. Yeah, this is all very informal. We never have anything scripted. We barely know what we're going to talk about when we start. But yeah, if you have a question, you can come on the live chat and ask them. The link is at the top, or you just put the your question in the chat, and we go from there. And then we have Nisha on. So I would like to on the Zoom chat. So I would like to welcome Nisha. I have not seen her name before. If there is anything that you would love to talk about, Nisha, then you will have to unmute yourself, and we go from there.
Yes, welcome, Nisha.
Well, Nisha may have stepped away for a little. So Nisha, just I keep an eye on when you unmute yourself, and then we just can go from there.
Or feel free to interrupt us.
Yeah, we interrupt each other all the time, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Toni, just listening to you, I must be all full of heavy metals, because I used to have the amalgam, fillings, and then I had them removed. But then I'm hearing that there's actually a specific way in which they should be removed, which is like there's a special guard that keeps all the flailing, metals from going back into your mouth. And I don't think it was done that way. And then I have a couple of tattoos also. And then when I had the injury in the eye, they did a CAT scan. They shot some of that dye in me, and wow, maybe that's why I feel like I have a brain fog, somewhat like what you were describing. I think that's what I'm always kind of looking for out of doing my fasting, is more clarity. But I'm almost wondering if I'm harboring all these maybe heavy metal toxins inside of me or something, and it's
we all, yeah, you know what, one we all do, and to a certain point, there's just no way around it. And all we can do is the detoxing it out. But if you want to know for sure, I know that, well, I will make sure that you get that article. But one of the things that Dr. Morse suggests is to do a hair analysis. And those analyses are not even expensive. And I know that previously he offered them through his website. I don't know if he still does, maybe. I'm not sure, but the person to contact for that, I think that is also in the article. I still, there are a lot of links in there that I have to check out before I'm going to share it with people. But a hair analysis will tell you the best. There are urine analysis, blood analysis, but according to Dr. Morse, it's like the best thing you can do is a hair analysis, and that will tell you. And you don't need to go to a lab for that. You can just pull out a few of your hairs and ship them off.
Mm-hmm.
So that, yeah, go ahead.
Say it looks like Nisha's back.
I still see that she is muted.
There we go.
Hi, how are you?
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I'm new to this stuff. I'm not sure how to work it. I'm not sure if it has a video on or if it doesn't.
Well, we can see you.
Welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So what would you like to share with us?
Well, I'm new to all this. Well, not new, but I have my own health issues, and I've been trying for like several years to figure out where to start. And it's unfortunate because I think, like Juan was saying, that the brain fog and the inability to stay focused is huge. So whether it be the addition of all these 5G towers around us, our diets, the electrical, the EMFs. I just don't know sometimes, like I feel like I'm spinning. Like, where do you start? What's the best way to go about things?
Yeah, actually, it is easier than you think, but we know that the EMFs, we can't get away from it.
Right.
The towers are there, the cell towers are there. We know what the Wi-Fi does. We know what the cell phones do. And if you want to get away from that, you have to move somewhere where you don't have anything like that. So we do the next best thing, and that is looking at our diet so that we can actually start detoxing, getting the kidneys to filter better, get the lymph moving, get the lymph stagnation in your brain out, because that is often the biggest problem. And I don't know what color eyes you have, but if you have, it's easy to see when you have blue eyes. If you look very close up into your eyes, and if you can see any whitish on your eye, that means lymph stagnation. Well, that lymph has to move that will help you with your brain fog, and you just go from there. It's actually it's when I say it, it sounds so easy, and in a way it is very easy what you need to do, but it's probably one of the hardest things that you're going to do in your life. Right. But there are, it's just that you get to a point that you have to make a choice. Do I want to keep living with this and being worried and things getting worse, because it will be getting worse if you don't take action.
Oh, absolutely.
And the action to take, and I was proof of that, because I didn't know. I mean, I met Dr. Morse. It's now almost, what is it? Is it about 3 or 4 years? 4 years, almost 4 years ago. And I had tried anything and everything. I was from Dr. Bergman. I did acupuncture. I did all kinds of holistic doctors. I even followed medical medium religiously for 18 months, and I just got sicker and sicker and sicker. And then Dr. Morse, and I was getting already to the all raw thing. And I was in high fruit, but I was still eating nuts and seeds and avocados, so high fat, high protein. I added protein in my smoothies. When we go to the health food store, they have an absolutely delicious smoothie. Yeah, it goes about a cup of protein powder in it. I mean, it tasted good, but I was not healing at that time. And then Dr. Morse told me the first thing to do is leave out the high fats and the like the nuts and the seeds and the proteins. And that is where a big change started. And and I cannot even say that I am consistent. And there are many people who are all or nothing, they dive in and they don't waver from it. I'm not like that. I have my setbacks, and can't say I'm proud of it, but I'm not hiding it either. I can go from 3 weeks of water, or even more than 3 weeks of water fasting, and then it's like, oh yeah, I can eat this. Oh, I'm doing pretty okay. And then dine it a month later, I'm on the farmer's market and I smell these absolutely delicious chocolate croissants, and there I go. I ate a croissant. Well, I paid dearly for it because I got a bad psoriasis outbreak. So I was like, okay, enough is enough, and back to, I'm now on day 4 of fruit juices again, fruit and water. But that is, I can't do this. It's like I'm still detoxing. I'm still getting better, not as fast as I would like to, or as fast as I could if I was very, consistent with just eating the fruits and some greens. But we do what we can. We got to a point that we have the knowledge, and now this is where you go. And with everything that I tried for many, many years, I would say, more than 20 years, actually, when I started to have toxicity from the vaccines that I got from through immigration. And things getting worse, and you always look in all kinds of diets, nothing worked. And we have the internet, so all the information is there, and then you think this must be it. So many people are raving about it. And then I learned that the more people tell you that is what you have to do, turn around and walk away. because it's not the mass. What is it? All these people that are telling you, oh yeah, you have to do this, like eat your protein. People don't even talk anymore about eat your meats. They talk about eat your protein. Otherwise, you are going to get sick and have no muscles and all the bad things that can happen. But I had to learn and experience why fruit is for us. And I did not experience that as much as when I started growing a few things in pots myself. And that is where I saw the beauty, and that is, my gosh, fruit is really our species. How do you say that? Remember, I'm Dutch. English is my second language, so sometimes that's like the sentence is a little messed up.
Our natural foods.
Yeah, natural food. No, I was going to say it differently. Species something foods. Anyway, you know what I mean. But that is where you start, and you transition slowly into the all fruit, and you have to make it fun. It shouldn't be a drag. It's like, oh my God, I can't eat this anymore, and I can't eat that anymore, and I have to eat, my meat, or I have to have my eggs or my cheese or whatever. It's just, slowly have a list with what foods can you eat while transitioning, and be creative, try different smoothies. But when it comes to it, and we can get away from the idea of we need so many calories, or we need breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we have to eat at certain times, the more that you get on fruit, the less that you find that you need. And actually, the less that you start eating and not being hungry. For me, it is now, if I am eating stuff I shouldn't eat, then it seems like I constantly want to eat. It's like, and it's not even cravings. It's like I just, always hungry. When I get on a water fast or on all fruit, the hunger is gone. First day I hear some rumbling in my stomach. The second day I'm not even hungry anymore. So there is a lot to learn, and that's why I put this. I put an ebook together with as much information as I could to think of, and there is which I already mentioned, and I don't know if you have it yet, is the Detox Miracle Source book from Dr. Morse. You can find it on Amazon.
I actually bought it about a month ago.
There you go.
Does it matter if the fruit are seasonal?
No, it doesn't matter. That is the same as people say, oh, you only can eat seasonal, or you only can eat non-hybrids. Dr. Sebi, really big on everything is a hybrid food. Well, when you look at it, it's like, okay, what can I eat? Because when you get to it, everything is a hybrid food. Mm-hmm. I mean, hybrids, they were created, they were working on that or creating that thousands of years ago. That's nothing new. I mean, everything that we eat is a hybrid. But when you look at like cauliflower and broccoli and all these things, it's not even a natural food. I mean, if it doesn't grow in the wild, then it's not a natural food. But then again, our the bananas, the apples, the oranges, the mangoes, how natural are they? I found that in Thailand, you had, I don't know, was it about 50 different types of mango? And here in Florida, there's a farmer, it's about 2 hours away from me. He has, I think it was 4 or 5 different types of mango. And I have a mango tree, and I haven't even checked if it survived all the freezing here in Central Florida. But it gave me mangoes. I needed 2 hands to hold it that big, and it was the sweetest fruit ever. So yeah, and that is for me, what I can grow is seasonal. But I eat grapes and watermelons if they're not in season. If I can get them, they're organic, they taste good, I'll get them. So that is one thing to take off your list to worry about. Okay. Because
oranges all year round too.
Yeah, and you can, well, they don't taste good if they're not in season. That's one thing I found out. But you can come up with all kinds of things to make it more difficult, and we want to make it easy. You just get the preferably organic fruits that you can still wash them very well, and go with that and not worry. because worrying is acidic. It's not healing. And the more you worry, the less successful you are going to be on your health journey.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not that
God
important.
made everything simple for us, and all we've done is complicate it. And you also don't have to eat the rainbow. We should technically be mono eating anyway. My preferable is oranges. I know a lot of people is watermelon and grapes, and so just mono eat, meaning just eat one fruit at a time. That's better on your body, and it allows your body to digest easier, and then your body then can heal, because the only way to heal is allow your body to heal itself.
It's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you wanna learn more, Shelley, feel free to we can have a phone call. I have let's call it short phone call. They're free, and you can get there from my page. That is, you can get there from Toni Weel, ToniWeel.com. But that is a forward to another link that doesn't always work for everybody. So then the link would be heal.me, HEAL.me/TONIWEEL. And then you can select the free discovery call, and we can go over things, or if you have more questions.
Thank
So
you.
that is one thing. Do you have any more questions before I move to the question about the gallbladder and the liver?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And feel free to always join in the chat, Nisha. We're always kind of answering questions and whatnot. And plus on the Facebook page, the fans of Dr. Morse, I know Tony's very active there too.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a lot of help from people. Sometimes the help is not, is a little against what Dr. Morse is teaching us. And
Yeah, there are some hit and go in there.
Oh my gosh, I keep explaining. It's like, no, that is not what Dr. Well, the ones, I mean, you may have seen it, was about food combining.
Yes.
There is the guy who does the water fasting, Douglas something.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the rest of his name. He does these, I think it's like 3-week water fast retreats. And I mean, great, if people want to do that. But he is like, oh, it doesn't matter what you combine. You can combine fruit and greens. And Dr. Moore says, no, don't do that. And it's like, well, why would I have to listen to it? And it's like, well, it is being explained.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is that fruit is very fast with the digestion. Greens, not so much. It has a longer digestion. So when you eat that together, it starts fermenting in your body. What is fermentation? It creates alcohol. Does your liver like that? Not so much.
Mm-mm.
So if we ever wonder, because I was diagnosed with, probably 20 years ago, I was told, oh, you have a non-alcoholic fatty liver. And I was like, how the heck did I even get that? I don't drink. But it was called non-alcoholic, but heck, it was still a fatty liver. Well, I must have toxed my liver pretty much to the max with, my wrong food choices. And to be honest, I've always been into organic food. I've always been into healthy food, what I thought was healthy, because at some point I even thought grains and beans were healthy. So now we know that is not the case. But yeah, I still got issues. But I also had issues at 20 years old. I was already, through iridology, diagnosed with bad kidneys. They did not know what to do about it, so I was never told anything. But I think it is that I actually ate pretty healthy that I'm still here now at the age that I am. Okay, I would like to go into that liver and gallbladder. There is a liver and gallbladder flush, and I do have it in the ebook, so whoever has the ebook already can look that up. But now I realize that it is actually limited in how to do it. And now I have to see what Shelley's exact question was about the liver.
She said that she was interested in detoxing the liver for liver issues. And when I asked some questions, she did say her kidneys were filtering.
Are filtering?
That's what she says.
Okay, then, there is something, and I think that is rather confusing about kidney filtering. If you are on all raw and you don't have extra proteins or fats in your diet, and you see sediment, then your kidneys are really filtering. What I've learned, there are people that may have sediment in it, but they eat a lot of proteins. And now it's like, okay, are they really filtering, or are the proteins being pushed out? So if you are on all raw and mostly fruit and your kidneys are filtering, absolutely amazing. And doing a liver and gallbladder flush is absolutely great. I don't have a gallbladder anymore. They took it out when I was after I gave birth, when I was 19. So since I was 20, I didn't have a gallbladder. It's 50 years later now. I'm still here. I'm still doing pretty good. But how do you do your, and it's actually that liver and gallbladder flush is to remove liver stones and gallbladder stones. Now, there is a recipe for that on, you find it on the internet everywhere. And I would not follow it that way, because it just tells you, oh, you just drink so much oil and there you go. It needs preparation. It needs like 3 days of eating mainly raw fruits and vegetables, organic preferred, 1 8-ounce glass of freshly juiced apple juice in the morning and 1 in the evening for 3 days. You need 3 days of bowel detoxification. You use an intestinal cleansing formula with formula strength depending on your bowel regularity. Use a gentle formula if bowels move at least 1 time daily, a moderate strength for formula if bowels move at least once in a 2-day period, and a strong formula for bowels that resist regular movement. So this is, you need to have, if you have constipation, don't do it, because you get in trouble. And we don't want you to get in trouble. And for herbal detoxification, an individual may choose to take an enema 1 day prior to the flush. It is important that your bowels are moving well. Now you can, this is optional, you can add 45 drops of fast food, that's liquid, to your apple juice 2 times a day, AM and PM. This will help loosen and soften any stones that you might have. I have not seen that recommendation in any other, liver flush. Note, no solid food should be consumed after noontime on the day of the flush. Fresh fruit, juices, or distilled water are acceptable. So it has more directions. If you want, I can send this out to you with whatever information that you need about it. And you can also PM me if you want to talk about that and go over things. I can, what is it? Yeah, maybe I should make a separate document for this and post it. That would be good too. But I rather, it is also, and Dr. Morse also said, when you have degenerative problems, the liver and the gallbladder flush should be supervised by a healthcare professional. So if you are already, talking with somebody from the, sorry that I say it that way, medical industry, let them know, or at least work with a counselor who can guide you through it if there are any issues, because we know what to do then.
Yep, that's very true. It seems like a lot of people are popping up with the liver issues too, especially the non-alcoholic.
It is, and I think that it's actually more people than what we think. And you can actually kind of see it when you have kind of it almost looks like a bloated belly.
Mhm.
So you can even feel it.
Yep.
Now I see we have a Monique here on the chat. Now I wonder if that is Monique from the Netherlands. She can let me know.
Mhm.
Okay, well, guys, whatever further questions do we have, or did I answer this, Shelley? Because I want to be sure that you get the correct information.
Mhm.
I had heard, Toni, that when we did that the master cleanse, you know, the lemonade, that was a liver and colon cleanse.
Yeah, I've never done the master cleanse. They have a lot of things added to it that from where Dr. Morse said it's absolutely not needed. It started out with the lemon juice fast, and he added a lot of other things to it that we are like, well, I don't know. I can't say. I haven't done it, so I can't really. I know what is in there, and I looked it over, and that was like, nope, not for me, because I didn't feel that it was actually enough in line with what Dr. Morse would suggest.
Yeah, Toni. Have I talked about Mexican food being like my kryptonite? I don't know. I've been under siege from the Mexican food cartel, and I got attacked by the bean burrito banditos again. And so
That's easy to do because Mexican food's so good.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, I feel really good, but you know, I guess I'm experimenting because you know I noticed again that you know, well, I broke the fast, just gave in to temptation, and then next thing you know, I'm eating, you know, bean burritos again. But yeah, at least I'm still sticking to, you know, no meat, no dairy, no eggs, and you know, bean burritos aren't all that bad. You know, I do kind of feel a little disappointed in myself.
Watch your kidneys, all that protein.
yeah, keep fooling yourself, one. It's first of all, you get grains, and if you prepare them yourself, you know, you could make something that would be close to bean burritos. Now I'm thinking about something. I have in previous shows, I talked about a book that is called Love on a Plate. And they call that the Gourmet Uncooked Book, and it's plant-based versions of the most favorite meals in the world. Although, you know, your bean burrito, if it doesn't have cheese and what is it, cheese and meat in it, you would say it is plant-based. But we can fool ourselves in that way too. You know, you can see it's fake, and so it must be okay to eat. Beans are not really, grains are not. What I mentioned with that a croissant is made out of flour and butter. So here you go. I have the grains, and I had the what is it? The grains and the dairy. So lo and behold, I have a terrible outbreak of psoriasis. So that shows me how healthy it is. Now, could we say, yeah, okay, it's good for one person, not so good for the other person? You may get other symptoms from that, and you don't even realize it. So it's like, yeah, I have my triggers, and once you start, it's not that easy to stop again. I found that once I did decide on going on all fruit again, there is no wavering. My time is like, when I do this for 3 weeks, I think, oh my gosh, I feel so good, and now let's see what I can add to it. And yes, it has happened that I actually added refried beans to it. I love refried beans. No, it didn't work. So I had to stop it again. But we keep fooling ourselves like, oh, it's not so bad, until we don't feel good again. But you are at a point now that you know You know what can happen, and you know the signs, and it's like, oh, okay, I better, take a step back. But you don't always, and I think that is what you do. You go into from one extreme to the next extreme. Because is water fasting extreme? Well, actually, yes, it is. Why not finding out all kinds of fun recipes about other raw foods that are healthy, the ones that are on the list of mucusless foods? Because I know that whenever I eat, and it doesn't even have to be spicy food, it was with another thing with the croissants, and I even saw it with my husband. We drove home from the farmer's market, and he fell asleep. He was like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep. That always in the past, when I was younger, oh yeah, I ate croissants. I mean, that was a normal thing. Within 10 minutes, I was in a coma. It didn't last long, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then it was over again. And now I saw it happening with him. So it does things to you that you don't even realize. Your body can respond to it in a variety of ways. But there are options, it's like, I don't know if you cook or if you have a dehydrator or if you even like to cook. I mean, if you're all fruit, you don't, you just eat the fruit, it's there. You don't need to get creative or what can I combine today? But there is a fun part in looking at all the food options that you have that are actually not mucus free, but at least mucus less foods that you can make all kinds of fun dishes with. And I would say that would be a better way to go than go from one extreme to the other extreme. Am I making sense, Juan? I cannot hear anybody, so I don't even know if you guys can still hear me.
Yep, we're still here.
Oh, okay. Well, Juan wasn't responding. I think I shocked him.
Juan, can you hear us? I don't even like his I don't know if it popped off. I wonder if he's coming back on. Can you hear us, Juan?
Oh yeah, there we are.
Okay.
It kind of cut off there for.
Oh, I see you have an
connection issue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but did you hear what I was talking about, Juan? Because it was actually directed to you.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, I think he has problems with his connection. So, but you can hear me well, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because
it tells me that the stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate, but there's not much I can do about it.
Well, if no one can hear us in the chat, please let us know. But I hear you just fine. So the other part is don't forget, Toni does have her mucusless food chart that is always linked in the show notes of each show. So definitely look at that as well, especially if you're doing transitions. I think it was either last week or the week before, I can't remember. But a lot of people that do come to Toni or come to Dr. Morse are already further along in their journey where they need, I shouldn't say further along, they are in the beginnings of their journey where they need a lot of help immediately in the beginning. So I would think that you are used to working with people who are in critical steps at this point, so having to take a little bit more drastic measures. What I like to think about is, even if you don't feel like anything's wrong, or you just maybe feel a little bit off in the beginning, now is always a good time to start on this process. You don't want to wait until all the red flags are going off and all the whistles are blowing to start this journey. You want to try to get a hold of it before anything gets out of control. It is better to just be part of it than it is to go fight against everything, because it does take a lot and it can take a long time, and you may not always have time on your side. So it's best to, once you know better, do better. And what we've always been taught is you can only do with what you have, and God knows where you are and what you're trying. So keep it simple and continue on your path and try to not have any stress, and which is very hard to do, but try your hardest, and that's all you can really do.
I have thank you, Sarah. It's I have a question for Juan, if you can hear us now. Those
Yeah, I can hear you.
those burritos, are they processed, or are you making them yourself?
Oh, yeah, they're fresh from the can, and
God.
and they're from Trader Joe's. It's organic, right? And black beans, and then they have like a non-fat a refried, and I mix that up, and I put all kind of spices in there, and
You're gone again.
I love the picture it froze on too.
Yeah, we heard all kinds of spices, so you make them yourself. What you should do sometimes is look at the ingredients, and then it's like, do I want to eat that? That usually stops me from actually eating it. But when you're on a farmer's market, nobody tells you what the ingredients are.
And everything does smell good.
That's the whole issue. But you know what? I go to that farmer's market at least once a month. I cannot go every Saturday because I like to go there with my husband, and he's not always home because he's on the road. But every time for years now, I walked by and I was like, no, I haven't eaten bread in 10 years. I don't want that. I don't know what that croissant was triggering me. If I was feeling bad or something, I don't know. It's like,
it is amazing how our emotions can also trigger what we want to eat, because we're going back to that. We're trying to find comfort.
It is, but it's like, that's where you go, you know better, you should do better. But sometimes I know better and I don't do better, but it happens to all of us. And don't ever beat yourself up about that. It's like, if you got it, you have it in front of it and you're eating it, you might as well enjoy it, because then you don't go through the stress of guilt, which is, making you feel worse again, and just tell yourself, okay, that was delicious. That was one time, not going to do it again. And that is what I did. So it's over now.
And sometimes if you just have a little bit of it and you get, I can remember too, anytime I would eat something that I thought I really, really wanted, the first 2 bites are the only good bites. After that, it's like, I don't even like this. But then you have the guilt of, well, I paid for it. Well, I don't want to waste it. And then you eat it, and then do you really still feel like great afterwards? Because it's only the first couple of drinks or the first couple of bites that are good.
Yeah. You are exactly right. And that is, I found that very funny. It's like, here's a fun little story. I always have these little stories. But at one time, this is a long time ago, this is probably 30 years ago, I was traveling with my now husband, with Willem, and we were traveling, we were looking for the sun. It had been raining in the Netherlands for weeks and weeks at a time, and we wanted the sun. This goes back to somewhere in the late 80s, probably. And so we drove all the way through Belgium and France, and we went to Switzerland, Austria, Switzerland. And in Switzerland, in Geneva, we stopped at a place where you could eat ice cream. And we had, I've never had such great ice cream in my life. So we ate that, and then we traveled a little further. We were to the Riviera in southern France, and then we figured, hey, let's go back to that ice salon in Geneva again. And the taste was nowhere near, and it was only 2 days later. So over the years, it is like, and I think even now it is more so than ever before. You eat a little and it's delicious, and then it's like, oh my God, this was so good, I want more. And then it's like, I don't even like it. Why am I eating this? So it's a good thing, Sarah, that you pointed that out. The first 2 bites were great. And then it's like, I don't know. But
is
the
true.
problem is a week later, you forgot that you only like those first 2 bites.
Mhm. Yep. Just like we forget pain sometimes too. You forget how bad it really hurt, and just go back and do it again.
Yeah, and what Katie is pointing out is that if we use stuff out of cans, it is aluminum. So without even realizing, we keep adding to the toxicity in our bodies. And if you don't want to get, more severe health issues, and then it's like, well, at least eat as healthy as you can, and don't use any processed foods. I mean, this would be fun, one, and I don't know if you would do it, but you can buy beans, dry beans. Now you have to soak them. Now you have to cook them. And now you have to make them into a paste. And there you get your refried beans. The thing with refried beans, though, is that it always has added oils and added salts. Always. Because otherwise it doesn't get as smooth as it is. I don't know why they call it refried beans, but there's always oils in it. And you don't want the oils.
Mhm.
And they're not healthy oils. And well, there's no such thing as healthy oils.
And is it just me, but did that just make you tired hearing, go get the beans, dry the beans, soak the beans, cook the beans? I'm like, oh my God.
Generally, refried beans mean lard. That's what they use, and that's why it's considered refried, because they're cooking it in the pig's fat. But I don't use those particular beans, but yeah, I have made beans in the past, but this has just been me giving into the burrito cartel, and I don't know if can parasites be ethnic? I mean, could I have like a Mexican parasite or something?
A parasites that thrive on your beans. Who knows?
It's
Yeah.
probably
Well,
Have you ever done a parasite cleanse?
no, I was gonna ask about that. Isn't an animal like a parasite remover, like a dewormer? Isn't that the
No, we're not.
ivermectin?
Yeah, we're not going to use that stuff. We have stuff that is a little bit more gentle to the body, and doesn't make you sick, and is not dangerous at all. We want stuff that is not harsh on the body. We want stuff that is gentle, and we want to use herbs to do that. Now,
Okay.
when you are detoxing and you are on either a water or fruit juice fast or feast, you get more alkaline, and you get to a point that the parasites are not wanting to stay. But we have a lot of junk still in our GI tract that needs to come out. So when you're well hydrated and you have at least 2 bowel movements in a day, then I would suggest, clean out that colon and use the GI tract, a GI broom that Dr. Morse has. It's also a gentle way, not an aggressive way, to clean out your GI tract. I've done the aggressive way and I paid dearly for it. And this goes in my 20s. I wanted to lose weight, and I was like, I thought actually that was the way to do it. Detox your colon. They didn't use the word detox back then. I have to say, I don't remember that. But it was to get the junk out of your body. So I would say together with the GI broom, use the parasite G for general parasite and parasite M. And we're full of the microorganisms, that for candida, for fungus, for that it's in the air, it's everywhere. So normally you would only use that stuff for maybe 2 to 3 months. With the parasite M, it's like, well, you better use it for about a year to get it out of your body.
Will that work on the Mexican parasites?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get with you on that, Toni.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as it works, help me with my Mexican food cravings.
Yeah, no guarantees. I think you have to re-brainwash your mind.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah, it's up here. It starts up here. You're right. Well, I love being on this show. This is me having the ability to get it out of myself. I mean, because you're right, it does tend to be disappointing, especially when I've been doing a water fast, and then I'm in a household where there's all this sad diet going on, and it's tough. It's tough, but I can do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of lucky, lucky. What a weird way to say that your husband is on the road 5 days in a week and you're home alone. But I'm kind of lucky in a way that I don't get tempted by all kinds of smells of food, or that you have to cook for somebody else. And I love cooking. I love creating food, but and sometimes it's hard to get away from that, because I really like doing it. But once I start with an all fruit or just water, it's easy enough for me to stick for it. It's only I have to get past those 3 weeks. see how long I can get past to it this time. Because I think I have done these fasts in the last 3-4 years. Oh, probably at least a dozen times, if not more. So
I had a question. I don't know if it was mentioned. What when you do a water fast, what type of water do you use? Do you spring water, distilled water?
Well, that is I would say what I read in Dr. Morse's book, and you said you just had the book, right?
Yes, I just got it.
Yeah, go to page 281. And he talks about distilled water and why. So I would say do distilled water. That is about, well, I have combined it. I do distilled, and I have that aqua panna from Tuscany. Is a water that Dr. Morse also drinks. It is a spring water. But the issue is, and it is explained in that book, is you have inorganic minerals in it that go in your tissues, and it's not helping you heal. So I try to go more to the distilled water.
Yeah,
and I like to add lemon to it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yes, I see that now in the book.
Yeah. There is a lot in that book. It's like at first when you have it, you go to the index and you see, oh, what jumps out? What do I want to know? But when I started studying for the certification, I just started reading it from, page 1, A to Z. I read everything. And it really is. It has all the information that you would ever need to succeed. But some things can be confusing. It's like, because it's not really clear where they say, and that is about transitioning foods. And some people think that the food list and the recipes, because there are actually recipes in that book, that they are for detoxing, and they're not. They are for, transitioning. And I have to, I'm sorry, Nisha, I have to answer JV on that. Oh, he's almost gone. He has a Kangen water machine. With Kangen water, make sure that you don't set your pH above 8. A lot of people make that mistake. They think the higher the pH is, the more alkaline it is, the better it is. That's not true. So don't put it to over 8, and max 8.5. And there are a lot of different alkaline waters on the market, bottled alkaline water that have even 9. And actually at one time, and I bought it because I thought it was good. Way back. I'm talking about many years ago, before I knew better. That was 11. And I thought that was helping me. Now, of course, it didn't help me.
Thank you. I'm going to look into that too. So the water you mentioned was which one that you get? And not the Kangen machine. I think you mentioned the type of water.
Yeah, Dr. Morse was drinking, and he said it was great water, and it does taste great. Is aqua panna.
Aquapana. Okay.
Yeah,
thank-
and I buy it on Amazon actually because I can't get it in the stores. So, but it is it tastes great.
Good, thank you. One has it, I see.
Oh, I see Sarah has to leave, and we are getting at 1:11. It's usually the time that we stop. So I would say thank you all for being here again. I would love to see you again next week. And I enjoy it. I always keep learning from everyone, especially with the questions being asked, because that means I have to dive into the topic and just learn more. So thanks everyone for being here, and Sarah, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, everybody's gone already. It's quiet.
Yep. Thank you very much for everything.
Yes, thank you, Nisha, for being here. Thanks, Juan. Monique, my gosh, girl, yeah. It's great to see you here, all the way from the Netherlands. It's yeah. I have an issue with ending this call. I don't know what's going on with me. I guess I just have to end the stream. So thanks, guys, for being here. Till the next time. Bye-bye.